Welcome to Nazli Tech School. Learn to design and develop math apps in our live mathematics and programming class.
I want us to go over 4 things. One is going over methods, which we already have done, but also combining it with multidimensional arrays and single arrays, which is single array that you've already used, I think, in your password checker. One of the checks you've done, you needed an array to do that. But now you're going to practice more about it, and you're going to also learn about multidimensional arrays. We have this in Python. It's called the 2-dimensional arrays, where you create 2-dimensional arrays and you can use it as well. You're also going to learn about math functions, and you're going to learn more about the mouse listener action events, because I feel you need to practice that a little bit more. And you're going to learn not just about the clicking part, but also how to do that enter, how to use that mouse enter part or mouse exit part. So we're mostly going to use mouse enter and mouse click on this program, but it gives you more idea of how you can include mouse clickers and mouse listeners. So what this program is intended to do, that we're going to make, as you can see in my screen, you're going to design your own. We'll design it together. It's called the SOH TOA. It's from trigonometry and math. So what we're doing is combining programming and math. And we're basically creating this program that's going to help students calculate any missing side of a triangle using trigonometry. So that's why it's SOH TOA, sine, cosine, and tan. So for example, they can solve 1 triangle or 2 triangles. So this program allows them to be able to solve if they have a 1 triangle question or they have a 2 triangle question. The only reason I made it this way was so that you can see the difference of when we use a single array and when we use a multidimensional array. That's the only reason. But generally, you can just tell them solve a triangle and they can solve as many as they want. So I use the mouse enter here. You notice when I take my mouse over that, you see what happened? It transitioned to the screen. Yeah, so I'm going to repeat it again so you can see. So the mouse enter thing is working. When I take my mouse on something, it just immediately transitions. That's the mouse enter. So that's how you can use it. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. I want you to get more familiar with these things. That's what it does. It allows you to just take your mouse or whatever it is in specific area, and you can move on to the next area. So if I want, I can return to the home screen. That's the mouse clicker, as you just saw right now. There's the mouse enter. Again, if I go back, and then I have the mouse clicker that takes me back to the main screen. So if I go back to main screen. If I want, I go back again to the first triangle, solving first triangle, and I come back here. So now from the home screen to the screen, I have 3 options. I can find the hypotenuse of the triangle, the adjacent side, or the opposite side. So I only did one side just as an example, because your program, what we're going to do together is do one side so you understand how it works. So we'll learn how to be able to make the computer find hypotenuse using trigonometry for whether it is a single triangle or it is 2 triangles. And then the other sides, you are going to do them to continue practicing and seeing if you understood what we did in hypotenuse, because it's pretty much the same thing. And the only difference is the formula changes a little. So yeah, so for example, here, if I click on hypotenuse, you see what it tells me. It says, what side are you given? So obviously, if you want to find the hypotenuse, you have to know the side that you're given, and the side that you're looking for, we want to find hypotenuse is obvious. So let's say I'm giving the adjacent side, I would say 1. I can also make a mistake and say 3. The system does have a data validation verification, so make sure that the person is not entering something that is not provided. So I didn't do that here, but I'll do it in another example. So it says enter the value of your adjacent side. So I do have a little prototype. Let me see if I can get that open. I stored a little prototype here. I got like a worksheet, a math worksheet online. You can do that to just test and see if the program does work. So this is the worksheets from Algebra 1 curriculum, and I think I got another one. Let me see if there's a second one. Yeah, so I got another one. So 2 worksheets that basically just test to see if I get the answer right or if the system is, calculating properly. So right now I'm saying that I have the adjacent side, right? I said I have adjacent side. So that means I need to look for hypotenuse. So adjacent side would be a side where we have angle and 2 angles together in the side. So here is good. This is just the opposite side, so I can't use that one. I'll use it for another example. This is an adjacent side. This is perfect. So here I have 18 and I have 75 degrees. So that's the adjacent. That's not an opposite. The opposite is here. This is the adjacent. And then I'm looking for the hypotenuse, which is T. So that means I can go and enter 18 for my adjacent side. And angle is 75 degrees. And it tells me, is this what the, these details, are they correct? I have to confirm. If I say yes, then it finally calculates the hypotenuse and it gives me the answer 69.5. So that's how you know it's working, when you actually test it. Yeah, so if I wanted to do the other side, so I wanted to find the hypotenuse side, the opposite. No, I wanted to find the hypotenuse, but I had the opposite. I'm going to take two examples. Let's say I wanted to do two triangles. So I have one here that I can use, this number 3. And let me see from another one. I need something with opposite. Okay, I have another one here, which is number 4. So let's say I'm going to do two triangle solution, number 3 and 4. So I'm going to go back to return. I'm going to go to solve two triangles. I'm going to click on hypotenuse. And it says, what side are you given of both triangles? So basically, I can solve two triangles that have similar questions. So that means I am given one side for both of them, same side for both of them, and I'm trying to find the hypotenuse. So it's not like I can solve one triangle where I'm giving adjacent side and I want to find hypotenuse, and the other one I'm giving opposite side and want to find the hypotenuse. This program is kind of made in the way where if you want to solve more than one triangle, that is two triangles, then both triangles you're trying to find the answer for, they should be having the same side given, but you're looking for the same sides as well. So both should be having an adjacent side and you're looking for hypotenuse, or both should be having opposite side and you're looking for hypotenuse. So that's how this part works. So if I say I have opposite side, it says, what sides are you given? So I'll say number 2. It says enter the opposite side of the first triangle. So let's say I do question number 4. I'm trying to solve this type of question. So the opposite side is 8 and the angle is 46 degrees. So I'm going to enter 8 and then it's going to ask me for the angle. So I'm going to say 46 degrees. Now it's telling me to enter the value of the opposite side for the second triangle. So for the second triangle, I want to do is this one here, which is 45 is the opposite side and the angle is 18 degrees. And we're trying to find the hypotenuse. So I'm going to say 45 is the side and then 18 is the angle. Now it's going to ask me to confirm the details for both triangles, where the first one is 8 and 46 and the second one is 45 and 18. If those details are correct, I could say no, and it's going to tell me to repeat entering, which I'll do as I said in the next example. So now it solves it for me and tells me that the hypotenuse side for triangle 1 is 11.1, which is this one here. So question number 4 is correct. And triangle 3 is 145.6, which is also correct. So that one's also giving me the right answer. So that's how it works. Now, if I go back to return and I try to do something where here I put an option like 3 or something like that, it will tell me invalid input. So this is what I told you about data validation. I would need to put something in there. So in this case, I'm just going to repeat what I did, 8 and 46. And it will still solve for me a single triangle. So whatever it is, that's how it works. It solves in that way. So that's it, Allegra. It's pretty straightforward. It works for whether it is a single triangle or it is a double triangle. In any case, it works. But there are many functionalities that you're going to learn and new concepts just to get you prepared before we go into that program I told you that we're going to do, which is going to be for creating a sort of like an ordering system for a shop. Whether I told you to get some ideas. Did you get some ideas like what shop you want to do before we go into doing the website? Because that would be like the next thing after this one. Did you get any ideas?
Well, I thought about, obviously the cafe is never a bad idea.
Okay.
Like I thought like that in the variety, because firstly I thought in like something like a shop that has a variety of things to sell. And like, for example, the sizes of the cups, like the extra cream, or like if you want to like change the milk, like some people drink like almond milk, so that would be like a charge. I thought it was very interesting because like you can add a lot of things to it.
Yeah.
And then, well, I thought like a normal like kiosk with like bubble gum, just like normal things you would get. And then maybe I also thought like of a shoe store, but I don't know how it would do that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Both ideas are good, actually. Whenever you think about an idea as a programmer or software engineer, always looking for something that is rare that nobody has done yet, but is a solution. The one for the cafe, like Cafe X, is good. Many people drink coffee or drink drinks. You can go and choose, make your selection before you go to the store or to the shop. And that one's good. That one's good. But I feel like that one's quite common. because that,
Yeah.
it's available.
Yeah.
The shoe one too is good, where you sell shoes. In that case, I think maybe you go into shoes, like, I think it will be going more like based on fabric. I think if you wanted to do a shoe app, it would be maybe I'm looking for a shoe that's made from leather, or I'm looking for a shoe that has a wooden sole, or I'm looking
Yeah.
for a shoe colorful, that kind of a thing. So it should be categorized shoe shop. So for females, they would have selections to choose from. From males, they could have selections to choose from. And that would be also good. But I was thinking about, I came across maybe a while ago, maybe not too far ago, there was a shop where they were like customizing things. I feel like customization is quite something that's very lacked in a lot of apps right now, where somebody can customize something they want to buy.
Yeah.
For example, you talked about a shoe. Maybe I want to customize a shoe where it's a low cost sort of shop where they do customizations, but they don't charge customers that much. They know how to manage the materials. So maybe I can do a shoe shop where I want a leather skin, maybe a brown kind of leather skin for my shoe. I want a wooden heel, but I want a colorful leather skin. And so like those selections, and then your system kind of like matches and, puts all the materials together and says, is this what you finally want? We're going to send it to our shop order to confirm your order. I feel customizations is good. Think about that even for future projects. Maybe we can do something like that with the shoe shop. And also, I was thinking, there are a lot of countries now where people selling vegetables and fruits, they don't have the money to be able to afford to rent a place and sell. Sometimes they sell on the streets, not even vegetable and fruits, give me anything. They sell on the streets. Sometimes they just put stuff and sell. A lot of countries have those issues because they can't pay for the rent. So I was thinking like that, like how farmers markets they do. Farmer markets, they basically have like an online site. If you want to buy like a bunch of tomatoes from this farmer, you can go there and order it and they send it to you. I was thinking if you can think of creating a platform for those type of people who sell on the street, they can pay a very low fee to register in your system or in your website, for example. And they can when they pay the fee, you organize the site to have like stands. Like you say vegetable stand A is Alexa, her stand, what she sells. And I, as a customer, can go and see what Alexa is selling. Maybe she's selling some fresh, nice vegetables. I can place my order, and your job is you're the person who's going to send Alexa, because Alexa is registered with your site. So she's a seller, and you're also having customers who are registered with you as well. Like how Amazon works. You see e-commerce. Yeah. So Alexa is going to you're going to send to Alexa and tell her you have an order from this person. And then you're making sure of quality. You're not directly connecting Alexa to the person, to the buyer. You are the one that's intermediate, that you're saying she should get ready 1 kilo or 2 kilos of tomatoes. And then you pack it up like your company does that. I'm talking about a big project. This is just a big project, but you can make it into a system first. You have the packaging, and it's not expensive. You get for the very low sort of material, but high sort of qualitative. And then you pack those things from Alexa that she delivers to your branch, like Amazon, and then you send it to the buyer. So you're maintaining quality, but at the same time, you're giving a chance for the people who cannot rent shops to sell on your website, and they pay you a fee to register with you, not too high, because people don't like expensive stuff now. And the buyer who's trying to buy things also pays a registration fee. So from both sides, you're benefiting, and at the same time, you're helping two people. It's just like what's happening in AliExpress, Amazon, these new ones. But nobody has done that with vegetables and stuff like that, perishable items, and think about those type of people. So that. Go ahead,
Also,
Allegra.
something that I've noticed is that, for example, talking with my friends in school, I noticed a big niche. Now, what I noticed in my friend group is that everybody is so consumed for for example, products for the face and skincare. And so there's a big wave now coming about organic things and sometimes some companies test their products in animals and things like that. And so there's a big kind of opposition to that. And so these products are sold from individually from very small businesses. And so with my friends, we were talking it would be very convenient for somebody to arrange all of those like products that, well, we want, like, I don't know, me and my friends are
Yeah.
like obsessed, and they don't sell it at like like the normal pharmacy at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like homemade and things like that. So I was also thinking like making like a system that could join all of those, and like join
Yeah.
like the small businesses with like that specific market niche of like skincare and like organic skincare and things like that. But I don't know. It was like just
Yeah, that's a very good one. That's a good one too. It's exactly like what I just said, where you can combine both the seller and the buyer. Yeah. And you looking for, basically you create the system, Allegra, first. We're working towards that because we have to do the job matching system. So what I suggest you do as an advice, once you start learning how to do these things, because mostly what you should learn, and I think is quite easy for you, is you're getting to the part where you just need to know those mouse clicking things, right? Because in a website, obviously you have to have web pages, you have to make them clickable. And also you're coming to the part of like how you can validate, log in, check with the file. You're still missing a couple more things for you to fully understand how you can create a system that will work, not just in the front end, but will also connect to the back end, because you have to store information for what you just told me now. You have to make the seller, upload stuff in your system, or at least send to you to upload, because you might want to arrange things. And then from there, you make it make it available for the buyer, and how the buyer is going to buy. They have to be registered as a user. And then when they do, you send the order to the seller. That system is where you're kind of going to learn how it works. That is the back end. But once you do that, what I'm saying is, as you learn these things, Allegra, you should start building your system. So don't wait. Like now you know how to do design. At least you have an idea on LunaPick. So start designing like how you want your home screen of your job matching system to be, what ideas you have. Start putting them out there once you have, maybe now you're having exams a little bit later, so that once we come to that section, you already know your plan. That's how software engineers, that's how we work. You have to have a plan. You already know your plan. You have your templates. You just want to connect things now. And it's the same thing with the cosmetic website, or whatever you want to create, whether it's a website or an app or a system. You also have to do the plans. And mostly what you should be concerned about in the front end is the design, because that's the main thing, and also how it's going to function. You should always look for things that make your system different from any other system in the world. So you should see as much systems as you can that is related to what you want to do, and try to see what will distinguish you from them, because that's what makes your site unique, or anything you design. So yeah, we're getting to that, Allegra. But like I said, start doing the plan from now, so that by the time we get to that, you already have an idea. Like now you're telling me about the next project. I told you we're going to make a shop or something. Do a design. Let me see, show me next time, or the next 2 classes, because we're coming to that project. Let's see what you want to do in terms of like the shop. What is the shop about? And that's what we're going to work on before we do the website. Okay, so let's get started, Allegra. Let me create for you this program. I'm going to call it Allegra TOA Finder. You can, of course, change this when you, the name, you can make it a little bit different when you finally get your Replit working. So I'm going to invite you to this. So let me create it first. And the first thing we need to do, Allegra, so what you're going to learn first is about that mouse, how you can put more than one mouse function on a screen. And that was the problem you were having in your password checker. You didn't really know much how to be able to add, because we didn't go through it, how to add more than one mouse event inside of a page. So if you want to do a click, but you want to also do a move, or you want to do something else, how does that work? So that's the first thing you're going to learn, because we're going to create a home screen. And on the home screen, as you can see here, Allegra, it's going to have 2 things where you can solve for a triangle, or you can solve for 2 triangles. So it's going to have those 2 options. And those 2 options are related to mouse events. So I'm going to invite you right now. I've created for you the program.
At Nazli Tech School, we offer unique courses in AI, programming, math, and science. Join us and prepare for your future.